he's in his third or fourth year. I don't think this is when Valentine. I don't think this is when you hire somebody to move them from step A to this next step. They should be already, if you ask me, you 2-3 years in the league, you should be playoff bound. And unless you're going to tell me Billy Donovan is going to make them an instant playoff team, I don't like the hire. Is Billy Donovan a solid head coach? Hell yeah. Because when we were looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder this year, everybody said, oh, they got rid of Russ. They picked up Chris Paul. He's finished. They got all these young boys. They got all these draft picks. They are going to tank. And next thing you know, they are in the playoffs and getting to the second round. So obviously Billy Donovan can coach. But the question my statement is, Billy Donovan can coach when you have an NBA Hall of Fame all-star point guard on the floor. Can Billy Donovan coach when you have a whole team full of dudes who've never seen an NBA playoff game? And that's the problem.
I understand. I understand that. But that's why I'm going back to the college coaching, more so saying that. And you're going to have to look at, like, if he takes to the spot of, like, these recruits, I got to get them on the same board, he may be able to do that. But I agree with you completely. Yeah, you got an all-star point guard. We actually had an Hall of Fame point guard at one point. MVP point guard. And then the Hall of Fame point guard of Chris Paul. So, yeah, he's always had somebody that was going to take care of everything on the court for him. I don't see nobody on the Bulls doing it. So, yeah, he may struggle a little bit. But once he gets the boys together, get everything rolling, that should be great.
See, to me, that's the problem. Why are you hiring? I mean, the whole purpose of hiring a coach is to not struggle. You could have left the last dude there to continue to struggle. My thing is, when you hire a coach, you should be catching the ball, running. No, what do I do next, coach? This, that, and the third. Again, this is an indictment. More than an indictment of Billy Donovan, more of an indictment of the Bulls. This is an indictment of the NBA, because why are you drafting 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old guys who still need to develop? Yeah, Kobe Bryant didn't go to college. How many Kobes are out there? No, it's only one. Garnett, it's only one. So forth and so on. But every time you see, for every Garnett, McGrady, James, Bryant, there are 25 to 30 nobodies there. Nobody. Leon Smith. If you're not from Chicago, you don't know who the hell Leon Smith is. Lance Stevenson. If you're not from New York or Indiana or LA, you probably don't know who the hell Lance Stevenson is. It's 1,000,001 guys who have the ability. They don't have the basketball IQ. They don't have the training and development. They don't have the maturity. And then they scrub out the league. And then people going, oh, man, they ain't on nothing. And that's the problem, if you ask me. That is seriously the problem. But, hey, man, people been telling me for years, it's the new NBA. And every time I turn around, this old NBA keep creeping up. And those are the teams that's winning. Teams with people with experience, teams with veteran leadership, teams with solid schemes. And if Billy Donovan come here and make them a playoff team, salute to Billy Donovan. I'm not trying to say you don't deserve the job. I'm just saying, is this the team that you really want to coach on your redemption tour? That's what I'm really asking. Is this your redemption tour team? Because I don't know if I want this to be my redemption tour team, because I don't think the Bulls have what it takes to be redeeming a coach. They got a bunch of young boys that lack leadership, that lack focus, if you ask me, and lack maturity for all intents and purposes. So are you going to respond to hard coaching? Billy Donovan, are you going to come in there with the Florida mentality? You going to come in there with the last year OKC mentality? We don't really know. Good luck to you, Billy Donovan. Big ups to you. It's going to be an interesting year. Big ups to you, brother. But with that being said, the biggest news of the week. It's something that I've been talking about for quite some time. Salute to one of the best cornerbacks in the history of the game. Salute to one of the greatest sports personalities in the history of the game. Salutes to Hall of Famer, College Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, MLB All-Star caliber player, one of the greatest athletes to ever survive, ever live on the face of the earth. Deion Primetime Sanders is the head coach of Jackson State University. Big ups to you. Mad love to you. Ain't got nothing bad to say about it. Speak on it, bro.
Oh, I have nothing bad to say about it, but you both have to put some respect to his name. They call him Coach Prime from here on out. So we got to put that respect on his name. Because he deserves it. Coach Prime. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's more so, we talked about this, you know, when we were talking about it, you were more so talking about the basketball mindset of it, because I think that's what was going on at the time. But in regards to this is exactly what you said 2 or 3 weeks ago. More so, why are you waiting to be, for people to get fired, for you to move up, for you trying to get your shot? Why not go to these HBCUs and use your name? I mean, it's plain and simple. So I want to give a big applause to you for saying it, not being afraid to say it, and get it squared away. Because somebody was listening. Maybe Prime was listening to the show. I'm sorry, Coach Prime.
And man, the thing is, I just think it's the smart play. If you ask me, it's the smart play. And again, like I said, I've been saying this for 4 years. I've been saying this for I've been saying this actually because I started on Windy City Clutch saying this show with me, Cook, and a couple other people here in Chicago. I've been saying this for 5 years now. People always sitting around talking about, hey man, they ain't give me a shot. They ain't give me a job. They ain't do this. They ain't do that. Well, hey man, create your own lane. And shout out to Prime for it. See, a lot of people sit around and say, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, if Prime is going to make this happen, I mean, if Prime said, according to Shannon Sharp, the man wanted the job. He wanted a job. And that's the question I've been asking of all these coaches, the Mark Jacksons, the Mike Singaterys, the Patrick Ewings, the Nate McMillans, the Sam Cassells, the Jason Kidds, and so forth and so on. That's exactly what I've been asking. Do you want a coaching job? Do you want to be a coach? Or do you want to coach in the pros? Because if you want to be a coach, go somewhere else. Go to one of these HBCUs. Become a coaching legend. And then don't look back. See, it's easy to take this job and turn it into a stepping stone. Like a stepping stone. Because I don't know about nobody else, but the way I see things is this. If I was pursuing you, trying to date you for years and years and years, and you wait till I get a real good job and a slick ass ride and all that shit to date me, that means to me, you didn't want to date me. And if you didn't want to date me when I ain't had nothing, don't come crawling at me when I got it all. To me, Deion Sanders is the greatest pick in the history of Jackson State. And obviously, Jackson State's athletic director is serious about winning because what people have overlooked over the last few years, they also hired former NBA player Lindsey Hunter as their head basketball coach because they realized when Lindsey Hunter, who's from the SIP, walks into anybody in Mississippi, Lindsey Hunter's an NBA champion. And Lindsey Hunter is a 12, 13-year NBA vet, played with a myriad of teams. When he walk into your house, more than likely he your mama's age. Your mama know exactly who he is. The man is a Mississippi legend, and that means if you a solid basketball player in Mississippi, he has a great chance of dealing with you. With the addition of Deion Sanders to this mix, you got Lindsey Hunter, Deion Sanders walking into houses in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. They may not get the top flight recruits, the top 100s, but some of those dudes that y'all are overlooking, or some of those dudes that wanted to go to those schools, why would I go to Mississippi State when I can go be with Coach Prime? Why would I go to Ole Miss when I could be with Prime? It's a couple of schools in the SEC that I'm not going to get any run with, but if I come down here with Prime and he going to get looks simply because who he is, the TV cameras are going to be there waiting on him to fail, I hit a lick. So me personally, it might be the smartest move he ever did, and I hope like hell he don't go for the get ready to turn this team around, because it's gonna be 3 to 4 years before he turns this situation around. I hope he don't. The next coach at Florida State don't fail and they offer him a boatload of money, because y'all won't offer me a boatload of money when I didn't have a job. So I'm gonna need y'all to get the hell out of my face. But I mean, that's not my decision to make. I don't have a heaven or hell to put that brother in, but me personally, big ups to Prime for getting the job. This is going to be an extremely interesting next few years.
Imagine Coach Prime coming to your house and saying, I want you to play for me. My answer is, when do I leave?
Right. I mean,
when do I leave?
I'm telling you, man, it's been an interesting situation. Now it's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, it's gonna be a mud. Cause again, I don't think Deion Sanders has the ability to take people from Alabama or LSU or the Clemsons of the world or Ohio States of the world, anybody from the Power 5. But like I told you in recent history, I've told people who's ever listened to my show when I talked about this thing, 38% of players in the National Football League come from teams you've never even heard of, and that includes HBCUs. That's more than 25. That's more than a quarter of the players. So if you're looking at your favorite players, some of the biggest names in the league, they don't come from big schools. And that's one of the pitches Prime can use. With that being said, we got Big Illinois on the show. What's good, bro? Talk to me. I know you had your ears on. Talk to me about what's going on.
Hey, what's going on, Brother Joe, Brother HRap? You know, talking about Prime?
Prime and Billy Donovan getting the job.
Where Billy Donovan went?
Billy Donovan went down the street from my house. He one of my neighbors. He worked down the street from my house.
He took your job.
He took who job?
Billy Donovan is the new coach of the Chicago Bulls.
When did that happen? Man, I'm sorry, man. I haven't been able to check nothing, man.
It happened about it happened like 10 minutes ago.
It was officially announced. Yeah, it's on HRap got the crystal ball and stuff, so we can see into the future.
Oh damn. Hey man, I don't know, man. I need to process that one, man. Because I was hoping that they was gonna go into like one of those assistants from off. What's the guy? Biggest last name. He used to play for the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken, the point guard. I think he on either Philly staff or anyway, he got the job, so it don't matter. Maybe, but at least they trying to go in a different direction, man. They got a new president, a new GM. Maybe it'll be a different direction for this franchise.
But having the last 4 or 5 coaches been college coaches too.
But at least he has experience and not jumping right into the NBA, though. At least he has experience. I mean, he has the coach of Westbrook, so he should be able to coach anybody.
But that's part of what HRap is saying, though. It's like you had, Westbrook that was going to do his own thing. You had Chris Paul that was going to do his own thing. So you had a quote-unquote floor general on the floor. You didn't have to do much.
So you still got to coach them for them. Hey, man, I'm just trying to look at the rainbow for the more fools again, man. I'm sorry.
I'm with it. I'm not mad at it. I just want to see how it's going to turn out. Of course, I got good hopes, high hopes for at least 8 seed, 7 seed, 8 seed, and in the lottery. So if they start to